Good morning, good morning, good morning. Hope everybody is doing well. I am Darkpool Algo, and today is Tuesday, November 30th, 2021. Where did November go? Man, that month flew by. We are going to try to find some stocks and options that are going to make a greater than expected move today, and we're going to be using a couple tools to do that. First of all, we're going to be using FlowTrade, which is the smart money dark pool and block trade algorithm software. Lets us see what's happening in the market before the market reacts. All right, we've already called two bangers this week. Now and was it coin? I think so. Anyway, so far 2 for 2. And typically what we'll do is we'll go through some news. We will look at futures, see what's going on with the overall market. Then we will start getting into some plays. If you are new to the stream, welcome. Thanks for joining us. All we do is ask that you leave comments that are appropriate. If you have any requests, make sure that you get it to us as soon as possible so that we can try to get those fit in. And that's it, man. Just try to provide useful content. Don't be a jerk, in other words. Just be a decent human being. That's all I ask. So, with that being said, morning chat. Sup, Laz? Laz is here bright and early. Go check it out. So I'm trying this one today. I'm trying this C4 thing. This guy. With Carnosin. Carnosin, that sounds like the title of a movie. No, but for real though, I don't know what's all in it. I like that it doesn't have any sodium. It's got a lot of niacin in it. So this may be the way to go. Let me know what you think. It's pretty decent. It doesn't have as much caffeine as I'm used to, so we will see how it affects me for the day. And it's kind of, it's not the greatest tasting. It's that weird blue raspberry flavor, like you get the frozen flavor pops, right? It's that blue raspberry off of them. Bro, if it's a fat burner, then like there's nothing wrong with that. I'll get itchy. Like, dude. Itchy and scratchy show. All right, man. Let's check it out. So let's get into the news. There's quite a bit of news. I want to get it covered so that we can get into the plays for the week. Or today, actually. So, with that said, let me just check. I got to keep checking in on a couple things. All right. So, the UK's Competition and Markets Authority has found that the merger between Facebook and Giphy has resulted in, would result in a substantial lessening of competition on social media and display advertising, harming social media users and businesses. So Facebook's going to get hit off of that. I think they might already took a little hit on it. Yeah, so from all time, from previous high at 340, a little dip down to 335. I mean, it makes sense. Facebook's really trying to corner the market, but they're trying to be sneaky about it. The whole metaverse thing. So, Facebook's got a little bit of... I'm trying to find the right part for this mic. Where do I put it? It's bothering me. I think I need to shift everything over about that much, but then I'd be out of frame. All right. Facebook may take a little hit. It's got some difficulties on its way back up. As far as the daily is concerned, it rallied up, pulled back, held VWAP, held the 21 EMA, right? Closed below the 50 on Friday, and then popped up and closed above the 50 yesterday. So that little pop up here was closing above the 50. However, off that news, and at the end of the day, we rejected the 250 combo. Now, above 337. Let's say 3. All right, for Facebook above 338, I think we see a move back up to 340, which is there's a supply zone up there. Well, it was a previous demand zone. That makes it a supply zone on the way back up. So there's some interest at that 340 level. So Facebook, if it can get above, like I said, 338, then I think we see a continuation move to the upside. Contrarian, we reject off of 337. I think we move back down to 334, right? That's Facebook. UNH, United Healthcare. raises forward year 2021 adjusted EPS view to 18.75 versus 18.65, sees 18.85 revenue. They're almost an additional billion up. So they should rip. Looking at it on the daily, however, we ran right into VWAP yesterday. Coming in at 451. Above 457 as things start to get a little bit more loose with United Healthcare. However, looking at it from the bigger picture, it made a higher low and a higher high. So it's stair-stepping its way up. If it can maintain 450, then I think we can see it move back up to 460 and then 465. UNH should be fun, maybe fun to play today. What we're really looking for is we're going to be looking for stocks that can survive the overnight hit that had happened. So just keep in mind. All right, AstraZeneca said the FDA granted them priority review to an application to expand the use of one of their drugs. It was one of their cancer drugs that it had developed with Merck. I looked. There's really not moving on. There's not much movement off of that. Not sure how I feel about it. Moderna came out. Their CEO warned that the existing COVID-19 vaccines will be less effective against the Omicron variant than they had been against the Delta variant, which means that they've got to come up with a new booster for that, specifically for that Omicron. So that's what, 3 and 4 now. The initial is 2. You get a booster 3. That's the Delta variant booster. Now they've got an Omicron, which is 4. Man, they're starting to make us pin cushions. Pin cushions. Into it. 55 million share secondary price at 668. Which really sucks because they were making moves, man. They were really making moves. I was super impressed with Intuit. That news obviously rocked it. I think they come back down to 660. Below 660. And I think we see a big move down to 645. Yeah, it's going to be a tough move. I mean, there's the levels. If it breaks 660, right? It breaks to 660 here. We play in this demand zone. Let me just draw it up for you. There's that demand zone that runs from 650 to 660. So if we crack that level and we come back down and touch here, ooh, things can get pretty ugly, especially if we break below it. We come back down to 630. All right, that is into it. Bank of Nova Scotia. I don't play this. I don't know anybody that does. I just had it up there because of the massive, nasty sell-off. They were trading at -2 ATR. Now they're trading all the way down at the 200 SMA on the daily, -3 ATR. If they're going to reverse, it's going to be here. If they break below that, then they're going to fall. I mean, they're just going to come back down to take out previous highs. All right, take out this zone right here. This zone right. Yeah, they're going to take out that one right there. Oh, they just cracked through that level too. 62. So that should be a fun one to watch. Possible reversal, right? It doesn't like trading down here at this -3 ATR. Doesn't like trading at the 200 and the 50. I need to, what am I going to do? Trying to figure out a place to, what I've found in the last couple days is I go through so many stocks and options that I lose track of what looks good. So I have to figure out a new way to keep notes, or else, yeah, I don't get to trade anything during the day. Square upgraded neutral from underperform at Bank of America, raised its target to 221 from 210. Square is going to rip off of that news. Let's see what they're doing. Let's check out Square. All right, so Square's all the way down here at -3 ATR. They're fighting the way back in. They got an upgrade today. I think we see 227 as first resistance test, followed by 231, 237. Point of controls all the way up at 250, right? So pre-market, everything sold, everything gapped down. Square got that news. They're bouncing up. We see a rallied up, pull back to the 50, continuation move to the upside. If and only if, wow, that's a big move. Those are $5 candles. Be leery, because look at that. If you would have got head faked on that, that would have been bad for your day. You would have been so sad. Let's check out Square a little bit more in depth. I think that there's an opportunity there. Shall we? Solar Edge, SEDG. I know some people trade this, downgraded to equal weight from overweight at Morgan Stanley. Right? That kind of sucks. They've been pretty flat. Right? Perfect iron condor trade. That would have been buying the 350, selling the 370 and call, and then buying the 350 put and selling the 330. Right? That iron condor would have paid. However, they got downgraded. They're already in a downtrend. If they crack 335, yeah, they cracked their 335. They're coming back down to 320. Yeah, 320. All right, Jinko Solar, one of my favorite solar companies to trade, had earnings. Right, they missed on earnings. And they missed in revenue. So what that means is maybe buy the dip. Yeah, they flashed down to 50, which is one. It's a psychological level. 2. One second, let me just show you what it looks like. Yeah, they flashed down to here. So flash down to -2 ATR. Kind of hanging out in this little zone right here. If they can maintain this zone for today, I'd be super happy. Right? Above 53. Resistance all the way up to 56. Targeting the 200 SMA on the 15-minute chart at 57. Right? There's that move. If they reject anywhere on the way up, I think they come back down. If they crack 50, they're coming down to 47. That's JKS. I gotta figure out a way to note this stuff better. JKS cracks 50, fall into 47. Can rally to 54. 54. 56 and 57. They have 200 SMA. All right. I think that works. Let's start taking some notes. All right. Airlines Corporation announced the delivery of one new Airbus aircraft with a long-term lease to China Airlines, featuring Pratt Whitney engines. I don't know what happened, but they dropped off the face of the earth yesterday from 45 to 41. Lots of overhead resistance. However, they're making higher lows and higher highs. A little bit of a Wu-Tang pattern reversal we got going on here. Right, there's the 1, there's the 2, there's the 3, there's the 4. On the break of the 4, we play the 5, right? But it looks like they may have failed. So if they can get above basically, they got to get above this 50-34 combo. Let's just call it, you want to call it 42? Yeah, let's call it 42. So, AL above 42 for a long to 44. They may just continue stair-step on their way up, so it might be a little bit slower of a play. Gap starts to be filled at 43. Gap from 43 to 45. That's AL. Dollar Tree. DLTR. Everybody loves a Dollar Tree. Downgraded neutral from buy with a price target of 150. Up from 116 at Goldman Sachs, citing an expected shift by the low-end consumer to focus on essentials, while the company's initiatives are largely focused on discretionary expansion. The fact that traffic continues to decline at both of the company's banners, despite lapping easy comparison with the whatever. Downgraded after a nice little rally up too, right? Makes sense. They're trading well above 3 ATR. They're living outside their means. They need to go visit Dollar Tree for a little bit. I did that. I did. Yeah, I did. Let's see. All right, I'm trying to find the zone. I think the zone for Dollar Tree is going to be in here somewhere. Right. So if they find support at 135, they may chop back and forth. I'm really interested to see what happens when this 50 and 200 hit this level here. All right, we got a 50 SMA and a 200 SMA they're coming close together. He said I was gonna be itchy. They're coming close together, and it's gonna pop out one side or the other, right? Currently, it's pushed down to the downside. We'd like to see it if it gets above 141, 142. I think it can maintain its these highs. However, I think it's going to come down and trade from 135 down to 130. Trade that $5 zone there. That puts them at 1 ATR, which isn't too bad. Below. It's at 126. If they have to come in and trade below, like if they take out 126 as a low, I should probably adjust this a little bit. Yeah. So they may stair step their way down. What that would do is that would create a massive little head and shoulders for a larger move back down to VWAP at 120, or even point of control coming in at 110. If that 50 bounces like it did over here, see how we had the kind of the same similar situation over here where the 50, right, the 50 bounced off the 200 and we got an explosive move to the upside. That's what happens when those two major moving averages connect. They're not supposed to connect. They're supposed to be separated, right? You got to keep them separated. Keep them separated. All right. All right, getting into some news. How am I doing on time? All right, I'm doing good. China Manufacturing Pmi reported 50.1 versus 49.7, which is good. Non-manufacturing PMI was 52, topping the 51 estimate. That's decent, right? So China's starting to produce more products, which is good. Eurozone inflation soared to its highest rate on record this month on surging energy costs, yes, as consumer price growth in the 19 countries sharing the euro accelerated to 4.9, the highest level in 25 years since the figure has been compiled, up from 4.1 earlier. So higher inflation in Europe. How does that going to affect us? I'm just wondering if the move is in energy or if we try to find something else. I want to stay away from gold and crypto, but gold is gappy. Holy crappy. I'm killing myself today. All right. No, let me rephrase that. It didn't sound right. I'm making myself laugh today. All right, NATO foreign ministers are meeting here. Where's here? Tuesday to. Are they meeting at your offices or to collaborate to calibrate a response to Russia's military buildup around Ukraine, seeking to deter the Kremlin from any potential assault while making it clear the limits of its support? NATO's like, yo, Ukraine, we can help you out, but we're really not going to go to battle for you. Anyway, Fed Chairman Powell said late yesterday the rise in COVID cases and the Omicron variant pose downside risks to employment and increase uncertainty for inflation. Factors pushing up inflation will last well into next year. Inflation is running well above the 2% target pushed up by the pandemic-related supply-demand imbalances. Continues to think inflation will significantly move lower next year. Are we not having an energy issue as well, or is that just in Europe? So Europe's inflation is being pushed up by energy. Ours is being pushed up by supply and demand. They continue to think inflation will significantly lower the next year. Fed will use all its tools. I love how he says that. Powell's like, I will use all my tools to support economy, labor market, and prevent higher inflation becoming embedded, which means the printers will go burr. Burr. Yellen came out yesterday urging Congress to raise the U.S. debt limit or risk undermining what she's described as the U.S. economy's quite remarkable recovery from the COVID-19 pandemic. However, goodness. All right. She also said that she was confident at this point that U.S. economic growth remained strong, saying that failure to deal with the debt limit would eviscerate the recovery. Eviscerate. Anyway, got some virtual key events today. Credit Suisse Technology, Media and Telecom Conference in Arizona. Yes, I will not be attending that. They misplaced my invitation. So Morgan Stanley's meeting, KeyBank, Credit Suisse, Piper Sandler. All right, so they'll probably come out with a lot more upgrades and downgrades based on that. Earnings after the close. Zscaler, super interested in that. CRM, super interested in that. Before the bell, nothing of any interest for me. 745, retail sales, Redbook weekly sales, home price index for September. These two might have a little something to do with the market. Consumer confidence at 10, and then the API weekly inventory at the end of the day. And that's it for the news, really. I'll just go through these last ones really quickly. Asian markets, the Nikkei index dropped 462 points. Dropped, right? The Nikkei was down. Shanghai was up by 1 point. Hang Seng slid 376, and the DAX was down over 200. FTSE slipped. So Asian and European markets were down. That's probably that initial drop that we had this morning. They're saying the weakness comes after stocks bounced solidly following Friday's sell-off. Biden said economic lockdowns in response to the Omicron variant are currently off the table. NASDAQ outpaces the S&P. Dow Jones's mega caps outperform small caps. Russell, you need to catch up, buddy. Small caps need to come back around. The 10-year Treasury's yield bounced after Friday's slide, but paired gains up 3 points, and all S&P sectors finished higher, with info and tech, consumer discretionary, the leaders. All right, so they're saying that there's reporting 14 people from flights from Johannesburg and Cape Town arrived in the Netherlands carrying the new variant. I know that in China they had 2 cases and they shut the whole thing, like they shut mass transit down. It's crazy. Looks like Powell. Okay, so we do have some things. So Powell and Yellen are due to testify at a Senate Banking Committee hearing at 10 a.m. Eastern to discuss economic recovery from the pandemic. They will also appear before the House Financial Services Committee on Wednesday. Ooh. All right, so they're going to testify today. We'll see what happens at the initial crack, right? Futures fell along with Asian and European weakness. And Moderna coming out saying that the existing vaccines will be less effective against this variant than other ones. All right, well, that sucks. That's the news. Let me grab my notes that I had written here. If you have requests, get them in now. I'm not going to spend forever doing requests today because I need to figure out what I want to play. So far, JKS looks fun. Okay, let's look at the futures and we will get to it. If you're new and you're wondering what are we looking at here, we're looking at the US futures. Typically we want the bottom row to be down. That means the top row will be up. Inverse head and shoulders. I left this here so everybody can see what happens with an inverse head and shoulders. You have a left shoulder ahead and a right shoulder. When price action cracks the neckline, which was here, basically, you get an explosive move, right? Contrarian with a head and shoulders, you get a downside move. So we like to see these type of moves here. So we've got, on the bottom row, we've got gold, crude, bonds, and the Japanese yen comparison to the US dollar. If these are strong, if bonds, this is TLT. If you ever want to play the equity equivalent of bonds, you can play TLT. If these are strong, that means that there's weakness over here because money is coming out of one into the other, out of one into the other, right? All right, so gold, typically what will happen with the gold is if we can get a down day on gold, we'll see a rally in crypto, and conversely, if we get a rally in gold, we may see a down day in crypto, right? Crude is still fighting its way. This is consolidation. It's also a bear flag. What do you mean by a bear flag? See this right here? That's a bear flag. We got a dip. Where's my tools? Where are my drawing tools? Over there. So dude, that's gonna suck. That's gonna be super choppy. Super choppy. This may take all day. Oh, maybe not. So around lunchtime, that might do something, right? Bear flag. All right, this is the top row is ES, NQ, YM, and the Russell. So typically what we want to see is we want to see the ES. You know, it's currently downtrending. It failed to make a higher high. It's currently trying to make one now. It's making higher highs and higher lows, but that initial fall off gave us a 1, 2, 3, possibly Wu-Tang reversal. It's not as pretty as normally we'd like to see it, right? There's the 1. Come on. There's a 2 move. There's the 3. We can crack that 4. Then we see a move up here, right? It's slowly working its way up. It's trying to do it. It's trying to do the thing. It's trying to do the thing. Keep an eye on that. As far as the NQ is concerned, these are, are all large caps. Kind of the same little deal, right? Would you consider this a bear flag on NQ? Leave me a comment in the chat. Let me know what you think. Because I'm personally seeing it as one. Right? If I invert this chart, I would be like, whoa, I'm super bullish on this. Super bullish on this. Is it a bear flag or is it going to be a wedge breakout? Super interested. When I look this way, that's me reading your comments. Okay. I'm seeing a mixed day, really. Mixed day in the futures. Right. We have a failed. What was that? I'm like, what a strange noise. Sorry, I've got a bunch of charts over here I'm looking at too. Like, can we count that? I don't think we can. I mean, it still made a higher low. If this comes up and makes a higher high, then I think that we may see a decent move in the Dow, basically. And then the poor little Russell's over here just having a rough time of it. Little llama, little billy goat running down a mountain. You guys see that? Tell me you see that. Let me draw it for you. Right? This is... Right, you got the horn. You got its little paws. You got its little backside. You got its other little paws. Right? It's running downside of a mountain. You guys don't see that? I know I'm crazy. I'm just making stuff up now. As far as the Russell though, I think that, let's just check this out. It's a pretty nasty fall off. It did come down here and find support. I'd have to look pretty far left to figure out what's holding that up right now. You guys are never going to be able to unsee a little mountain goat right there. So let's see. We fell off. We rallied. We fell off. We found support. We chopped. We fell off. Made a new low. Right. Since then, we've been making higher lows and higher highs. Right. If this fails to make a higher high, I think we reverse to the downside. So we will keep an eye on things for the next little bit. Currently, it looks very heavy to start the day. I think we might get some initial panic selling, some profit taking, and then setting up for a stronger move into the end of the week. Okay. All right, this is Blink. What just happened to Blink? That sucks. Seriously though, yo. 38 to 37. But more importantly, fell out of the Celts. Okay, it's request time. Get them to me while you got them. Let's get them taken care of, shall we? I want to look at... Yeah, everything's bloody right now. Technology, consumer discretionary. All right, request time. Oh, you guys don't have anything for me. AMD, Roblox. All right, open. The trade desk looked really good going into yesterday, right? TTD. Overnight, it's holding up. It's uptrending, right? It's making higher lows and higher highs, right? So TTD, I think it comes up and starts taking out 110, possibly 115. It's going to need a catalyst, though, to hit that 115 mark. You can't just stair step its way up and lose all your value. Interesting how my ATRs are hitting my VWAPs, though. Do y'all see that? Where's the fancy... I thought I had a fancy little bubble creator. I swear I clicked on one of these the other day that made bubbles. Oh, that's the one I want right there. Check this out, yo. See that? I don't know if you guys can see this, but I'm going to make this bigger. All right, so the chart that you see in front of you, I got to fix those lines. It's really hard to see, but every place that there's this bubble, let me just remove it. We'll put it back up there again. Which one was it? It's this one here. All right, so what I was saying was interesting is if you look, my ATR bands are lining up with my VWAP bands, right? So this white one's the highest volume VWAP. I've got a purple one down here that is month to day VWAP. I've got a blue one that is quarter to day, right? And then I've got the 200 and or the 50 and the 200, right? If I drop this interaction bubble thing right there, it seems like we're getting a lot of decision making on TTD. Like things will either bounce or we're gonna enter a down cycle. So with that being said, just be very nimble when trading TTD. Like it's got a lot of room to move, in my opinion. We have stack positive moving averages, 821.34, right? We have potentially increasing MACD histogram on the daily. On the 15-minute, we've got a negative and decreasing MACD histogram. Our RSI was beginning to get pretty decent. However, it rejected the mid and starting to become oversold. Overbought. Oversold. I always get those two confused. So let us... Right. Sell off, rally to the 200, rejected, or excuse me, rally to the 50, rejected the 50, right? Rejected the 50, can't get above it. If it can get back above VWAP at 107, then I think we can go long for the day. However, if this rejects this 50, I think we come back down and test the 200 at 104. Below 104, we start taking out previous lows, right? Below the 200, we look to previous lows for support at 103, 101.50, 100, and then ultimately 98. Right, that would be a pretty significant drop. It can do it. It's done it before. As you can see here, it fell. So let's just be nimble with TTD if you decide to trade it today. All right, I'm going to look at Smart Money, Dark Pool, and Block Trade algorithm software provided by FlowTrade. If this is the first time you're joining the stream and you're wondering what has he got in front of him, this is that FlowTrade algorithm software. Okay, real quickly, if you see white bars, those are price action. The purple line is a regular algorithm line. Blue horizontal lines are dark pool block trades. So I'll usually try to indicate those and call out the levels as well. Red lines are regular block trades, and white lines are fun. I miss them so much. Peace. No, I'm just kidding. No, what it means is that there's a regular and a dark pool level that are printed on top of each other, or so close that I can't really draw two lines on there without mucking up the chart. So those are key levels. Make sure you just note them if you want to start learning slowly how price interacts with some of these levels. Drop a white line on the chart and be like, hey, dark pool algo is like something important is happening at this level. Okay, so yellow lines I usually try to draw support levels, support, directional stuff, just generalized information is what I use the yellow lines for. Okay, so TTD, right? What I was trying to show you on TTD was that going into yesterday, there was some good bullish divergence. However, that divergence has played out. I've got a list that I want to look at here. There's a bunch that I want to check out. American Airlines, open. Sorry, I've got to go through a bunch of these real quick. Looking for that nasty divergence. So the reason I'm picking these ones is that they have a tendency to be not only regular, but dark pool algorithm diverged. 10B, right? These are pretty solid divergences, right? 10B. Just grabbing the last of them now. Just bear with me another minute. You'll thank me. You will thank me later. What is that one? Okay, so in addition to this list here, I've got another list that we can go over. I'm going to move my look back period to about 10 days. While longer term look backs do help with looking at previous interactions, I'm really trying to keep the charts clean. Okay. So 10B, I don't know what, like, this is what I'm looking for. I'm looking for this divergence. Once I find the divergence, I can go look at the chart and be like, oh yeah, we are in an area of support and resistance, right? We're in an area, wow, that's bright, of, sorry, I just got to find the right chart. That's a mess. It's a mess. I'm redoing some of my charts. I guess we can use that one. Redoing some of my charts. That's awfully bright. That hurts my eyes. I know. It looks like spaghetti. It looks like the spaghetti. It looks like the spaghetti. I think that's good there. Maybe we'll use that one. This one gives me a lot of information. All right. Let's get through these, shall we? 10B. I don't know what 10B is, but they've got some pretty decent divergence. Looking at it on the 15-minute chart. right? They've held the 15-minute Ichimoku cloud. They're in the daily and 4-hour bottom. If they break 51, $51.25, I think they move to 52.17 and then 53. This is pretty decent divergence on this 10B, right? Let me mark this up for you so you can see what I'm talking about. The algorithm is net buying, which means that it's consistently making higher highs and higher lows, and it has been for the last couple of weeks. Price action is kind of at a weird little support. Like, is this an inverse head and shoulders setting up? Possibly. Or is it a wedge breakout? Right? I think that right there, this wedge is the natural progression of the stock after this massive sell-off that happened last week when everything took a hit. Right? I think that this would have been the natural progression. So we have a dark pool level at 53.36. That's going to be our overhead target. It's been a previous support level before. So on 10B, if we can get above, this level here. Let's see if I can draw it. Basically 10B, if we can get above that 51.10, I think we see a move back up to the upside. So it looks like we've got a little bit of a little wedge, right? Longer term wedge. Anyway, that's 10B. I haven't looked at the options chain. I don't know how it's going to move. Open is the next one I wanted to look at. This one's pretty decent. This shows clear, defined divergences. Also gives us some support and resistance levels as well as some dark pool levels that we can use. Okay, so we've got the algorithm, right? It was consolidating. We have some divergence that's occurred. The algo looks like it's trying to make, right? Come on. Looks like it's trying to get out of its consolidating wedge there. Price action, meanwhile, has been kind of basing right here at this level. We've got a longer term wedge that we're trying to break out of, and we have dark pool and regular block trade targets on the way up. So we have a cluster of regular block trades coming in at 1996. Can you please change? Thank you. Cluster of block trades coming in at 1996. Obviously, that's going to be a longer term target. We have some dark pool support and resistance on our way up out of there. 1750 is target 1, right? Previous highs. Support coming in at 16, 1610. Makes sense so far? We have it's important. I don't want to say that this is a white line level, but we have a dark pool level at 17 right on the, like there's a dark pool cluster at 17. So beyond that, 1710, we have white line level at 1637, 1640, previous low. So if we break out of this wedge and we take out this previous low here, right, this one here, we rally up to this previous high here with resistance at this level, right? Basically, come on, resistance at that level, taking profit at that level, ultimately trying to get up to this level here. All of that depends on this wedge breaking and firing off to the upside. This is open. I don't even know what open is. It's Open Door Technologies. So it's it's in the tech sector. It's kind of been fighting right in the 4-hour Keltner channel on the way down, right? It's just stair stepping with this Keltner channel. It has the Ichimoku cloud it's got to get rid of, and it looks like it's just trapped within this massive bar, this massive candle that runs here. So giant range bound stock, right? Take out previous lows, we gap, right? We start moving up to previous highs. What I like is this slingshot squeeze. This right here is the this is the Squeeze Pro, the TTM squeeze. It's slingshotting around, and when that squeeze releases, typically we can get a larger than expected move to the upside. For example, when it released here at this point, we got an explosive move up. All right, this is a super violent stock, so be careful. Our bottom level here is ready and fire. It's giving us this is a slow oscillator basically. It's giving us a fire signal in the last couple of sessions. So if we got to take out these previous lows, we're in this massive zone right now, which really sucks for this stock, right? but we've kind of held support. So if we can get out of this zone, right? Is there a way for me to clone that? Sweet. Right, we get out of that zone, we rally back up to this other zone way up here. Right? That's the move we want to see. We're at the 4-hour Keltner channel bottom. We rally up, bounce off of that. Fight to get through this Ichimoku cloud, get out the other side. We come up and test 1675, 1680, and then previous highs right at 17. Right? Like I mentioned, 1750, right? 17 is like we have to fight through all of that just to get to this level here. Then we get above that, we start to breathe a little bit, we start getting back into an uptrend, allowing the algorithm to pull us up, taking profit at 1750, and then it should be a pretty significant move up to $20. With these stocks, with these options, this is longer term stuff. This isn't something that's going to move $5 in a day. I guarantee you the ATR in the stock is probably 80 cents, maybe $1. So just be aware. Zillow. Look at the ZZZZ. I like this stock. I like the setup, the algorithm. Lots of major influx of capital came in the last couple of weeks. I'm starting to become a little bit more bullish on it. It's got a wedge it needs to break out of. But look at what the algo is doing. The algo is steady net buying, right? It is currently coming off a consolidation, right? Trying to break out of that consolidation. If it breaks this level, I think we get super bullish on it, right? I know all the news, everything like that, but that's still a billion-dollar company. Every time we've hit this overhead resistance, we've rejected and gapped down. Rejected, gap down. Do we come up and reject and gap down? If that's the case and we take out this previous low, right? We take that out, either one of these, we have a downside target on Z, right? Let's look at what Z is doing on the chart. Kind of the same thing. This is a 4-hour Keltner channel bottom. This is the top up here, right? So we went from bottom to top, consolidated, right? Held the mid. This is the daily. Is that the daily? All right. It's slowly coming down. We're looking for, is this the reversal point? Is this the double bottom where we start moving back up? Okay. We have an opportunity. We have to play the chart in front of us. Look at it on the 4-hour. We're squeezing. Wedge breakout above. All right, so the shorter term play would be we rally up above this Ichimoku cloud and this purple line here. All right, we get above 50, 54.75. Look at 55.34. Basically, above that, we move to previous highs, right? At 56.75, and then we go check out 58. So there's room to stair step our way up. If we reject off this level here, I think we can come back down and test 52.61. So we have an opportunity both ways. Very random candlestick patterns here. Like, what the hell is this bar out here in the middle of nowhere? It's a mother bar, so it's important. Is that just put us in a range? Is this the range bar that's keeping us where we need to be? Could be. So, like, great divergence, maybe not the best technical setup. Okay. American Airlines. So, I may be interested in getting into a position in American Airlines. It's starting to find its way out of all of this nasty regular block trade support and resistance. Okay. The algorithm has diverged, and it occurred early last week where they're starting to buy American Airlines again. Right. We're starting to hold some technical patterns. Not super thrilled about this rising wedge, right? Typically, I'm not super thrilled. We have a bunch of retail and sentiment. So notice how there's a bunch of regular block trades on American Airlines, right? We have a cluster support group right here at 1695. All right, we got another cluster at 1750. Another cluster at about 1822, right? We have a target of 1946, right? It's a lot of red. That's red retail, red regular block trades. It's the easiest way to remember it. So we do have a dark pool level at 1775 as kind of, support resistance, and then all the way back down here at 17. So what I'd like to see happen is there be a squeeze on the hourly or the daily or something that can really thrust American Airlines up above the 1825 resistance to come fill the gap back up to 1950. Right? American Airlines got smacked down when that, last week, right? We fell, got smacked down again. We're trying to fight our way back up, but we just keep running into overhead resistance. Mainly this 4-hour Keltner channel bottom, right? We need to rally up through it, use it as support, use this Ichimoku cloud as support for the next move up to 1850, fight through this cloud, move back up to 1950. There's quite a few areas of resistance overhead, right? Look at this little move. Pull back, rally, bull flag, breakout, ride the 9, hit inside the Keltner, 4-hour Keltner channel, got scared, came back outside of it, tried to get back in again. The door's been locked ever since, right? If we can get above up into 1763, I think we fight to 1783. Above that, we breathe a little bit, try to get a move up to take out previous highs at 1833 and then 1850. That's American Airlines. All right, the next set that we've got coming up is travel stocks, right? CCL. I always mess this one up. NCLH, CXSE, GNOG. Right, nice, beautiful looking divergences. Lots of block trades that are messing stuff up, right? All right, looking at Carnival Cruise Lines. Yes, Carnival still owes me money. I will get it back before the end of the year. So, beginning 2 days ago, lots of inflow of capital into American Airlines, or excuse me, to Carnival. Whenever we're presented with these clusters of block trades, right? What I like to do is just box them, because those are zones, right, that you're gonna need to trade in and out of, right? So now we've got a support zone, and then we're going to target the initial overhead regular block trade at 1884. That's kind of the key, right? You break above that, and I think we can get a move higher to the next zone, right? It's totally different than zone to zone with other things that you guys are involved with me on, right? Don't confuse it, right? It's that little rising wedge thing again I don't like. I want it to be a wedge breakout, accelerate with some velocity through 1884. Let's see what we got going on here. Slingshot squeeze getting ready to fire off. Ready and fire, getting ready to fire off. Again, 4-hour Keltner channel bottom. We got to get up into here to move back up. So, if this squeeze releases and thrusts us up into, as long as we don't reject off of this Ichimoku cloud on the 15 and we can get through it, right? Use it as support. I think that we can go from 1825 to 18 to 19, 1975, and 20, right? Stair step our way up. However, we may just be stuck in this range-bound candle right here. And if that happens, it happens. We have to wait for longer-term upper time frame squeezes to release to get us out of this range. Norwegian Cruise Line's kind of the same similar situation where we have a lot more dark pool sentiment with Norwegian. Same kind of time frame. The Algo started buying a couple days ago. Norwegian's actually making one of my favorite patterns, right? This one here. I love this pattern. I love it. I'll show you why here in a minute. All right, so this is our target range for Norwegian at, I can't believe it's 22.58. Are you kidding me? I might have to buy some of that for the long term. All right. Support range. We have dark pool support at 2025, right? That's pretty much going to be the key. And then it's 10 cents, about every 10 cents up on the way up, okay? So we break above that regular block trade. We target the initial one above it. I'm trying to fill the gap on the way up, okay? That's NCLH. NCL. Come on. Seriously, dude? Same pattern as everything, right? Get back into this 4-hour, we rally up. So it all depends on this break of this Ichimoku cloud. 2050, above 2050 on NCLH, I think we can get long. CXSE, I'm not sure what this company does. Doesn't look like it moves a whole lot during the day, so this may be a longer term play. Don't be like, oh, it's gonna rally. I can't tell if this is just consolidation, right? It appears to be consolidation. So look for the wedge breakout to fill that level up there. GNOG, selling off, price action trading with the algorithm, right? Got a little bit of divergence that occurred off of consolidation. So this is kind of bullish, right? We consolidated, instantly created divergence. Price action is being kind of weird there. It looks like we have a longer term, right, trend line that we got to get rid of. Take out those previous highs. GNOG. All right, so overhead resistance on this is, this one's a little tougher to get back through. I'm going to pass on this one. I think that we actually come back down to make a new low at 1237. Yeah, I'm not going to. I think it's just. I think we break this trendline support and start making newer lows. All right. Okay, last couple ones, and then I got to go. AMD. Roblox. Firm. Don't sleep on Upstart. Morning, morning, morning. Okay, Affirm. You guys can see what I can see, right? Looks like a giant head and shoulders with the algorithm. The algo is trading with price action. We're going to target this regular block at 140. I think if we hit that, we might, I don't know. This looks like a head and shoulders on the algorithm. I don't like this pattern. Price action is, what's it doing here? There's a lot of flow, a lot of options flow came in for Affirm, so that might be enough to keep it held up, right? Trying to take out previous lows. So if the algo can yank price action up with it, I think the 140 is a target. Above that, I'd have to reevaluate. Roblox. So Roblox has been pretty decent for the last little while. I think that a lot of money that's gone into it is starting to kind of get stagnant, right? We have this long-term support, right? The algo is, if you look at it, the algo is kind of starting to downtrend a little bit. Right, the algo is pulling down. Price action's having problems with the 130 level. We have 116 as a base. Right, we got support there. Sorry, 124, 125 is the base. I think that's a new base for Roblox. It's pretty solid. And then we have a regular and a dark pool level up here at 120 or 130 is your regular support resistance. Blah. Your regular resistance, and 129.36 is your dark pool resistance. So if we can get up and above these levels here, then I think that we can probably, try to take out, test drive some of these. I think we may reject off of that, and if the dam breaks here at this 124 level, I think we come back down here and test, test 116. So that's Roblox. AMD, what a beast. Beast mode. All right, beast mode. Algo's trading with price action. We have a regular block trade level at 157.68. I think it's pretty going to be pretty much invalidated, right? It occurred on the Friday. Price action it's just beast moding. Look for the algorithm to get above its overhead resistance. If that happens, I think that we may see a continued move, right? That's gnarly right there. If that can confirm, we have a low, we have a higher low, we have a high. If we can confirm a higher high, then I think we may see a continuation move to the upside. Right? That's not a very bullish pattern where it squeezes up like that. So as far as support goes, we have support at previous lows and previous highs. Just keep an eye on AMD. It's a momentum play. So Upstart, on the other hand, I like this inverse head and shoulders that the algo is doing, right? I am looking to try to get into a position on it. And let's see. All right, we got some levels there. All right, algo is trying to uptrend. Price action is trying to follow it. It's got a lot of overhead pressure right there at that level. If it squeezes out of it, then I think it can come in here and take out some of these previous levels. That's Upstart. Amazon is going to be the last one I got to do. I ran a little over. My eyes are tired from staring at the light forever. This is the Upstart chart, right? It's making higher highs and higher lows. It's stair-stepping its way up. If it can get above, back into this daily Keltner channel cloud, it's a huge one. We'd have to rally up, pull back, rally up, pull back. So I think I'm going to put an alert. I don't know. I'm just going to keep an eye on it. It's got a slingshot squeeze getting ready to set up, ready to fire. It's making higher lows and higher highs, right? Let's see this uptrend. All right. Pretty decent level of support. I need a violent explosive move from it, though. I need to get above here, right? Start checking out some of these previous lows way back here. So that's it. And then Amazon. All right, so Amazon divergence played out. I think we see a little bit of a move back down on Amazon, keeping an eye on what the algorithm is doing. Currently, the algo is selling off. So see this move here, right? Is this move happening? The opposite, right? This one caused it to rally up. Does this one cause it to pull back? So the algo is downtrending, right? There's no two ways to look at it. The algo is downtrending. Is this a giant head and shoulders? Possibly. Right? Whoa, that's weird. Alexa, stop. Okay, hold on one second. All right. Regular dark pool levels for Amazon are as follows. We have a regular block trade level at 35.0456. That's the last time we touched that level. We ripped up off of it. We have a dark pool level at 35.81. That's been kind of a pain in the butt. So I'm not super bullish on Amazon like I was. Just keep an eye on it. All right, gotta go. I use, on the trading view, I use the Squeeze Pro. All right, check it out. John Carter's doing a, let me get you a link right now. So John Carter's doing a free webinar tonight on how he uses his tools and how to get in and get out and stay in longer. It's a free webinar. If you haven't signed up yet already, use my sign up link and check it out. I'll be there tonight. I'm going to check it out. Anytime I can learn from somebody who's way more experienced than I am, I will take that opportunity, especially if it's a free webinar. It just makes sense, right? It doesn't cost you anything to go to the webinar, and you get to learn something new. So hopefully I'll see you there tonight. There's the link to sign up for the register for the free webinar. It starts at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. All right, I got to run. Thanks for joining me. Once again, my name is Darkpool Algo. I am going to be looking at JKS. If it cracks 50, fall down to 47. Above, if it can rally. Above, if it can rally, then I'll go to 54. I'll try to post something out on Twitter too. Like I said, I just looked at a whole bunch of stuff and I'm not exactly sure what I want to trade. So thanks for joining me once again. I will see you tomorrow morning. Have a great